All systems go. Clear for liftoff.
What is going on, Shipping Nation YouTube station? We're back Friday night, 10 games, Coors Field, Dodgers against Sugano. What can go wrong? Man, we got a fun slate ahead here. Weather's pretty consistent across the board. No weather concerns really on any spots. So it should be a clean, fun slate in general. And an absolute loaded pitching slate. First time so far to start the season realistically that we've had a pretty deep pitching slate, especially at the top end. A lot of good arms. Ownership's going to be spread amongst pitching. When we talk hitting, there's two teams that stand about the rest. Well, I'll bring those up when we go into talk hitting. Ham, we're back Friday. What's going on, brother? Happy Friday. How's your week been?
Yeah, happy Friday to you and everybody out there watching. Yeah, week was great. Was down in the ATL earlier in the week. Got a big weekend ahead. Nate, I know you're a big fan. I got a concert to go to tonight. One of your favorite bands, Cowboy Mouth. I know you love Cowboy Mouth. Nate has never heard of Cowboy Mouth. Please, somebody put in some good Cowboy Mouth songs in the chat. I'm going to see Cowboy Mouth tonight. We got WrestleMania on Saturday and Sunday. We're going to get some baseball winners. We got the Brew Crew down in South Beach. We're about to talk some winners. Nate, you know what I need? I need some home runs, man. I need 2 home runs from you at the end of the show. I'll put my 2 together. I need some money. So, yeah, man, looking forward to breaking this slate down and talking what is it? Tony Seguno, whatever Seguno's first name is, going up against the Dodgers should be a good one.
Yeah, should be a good one. Obviously, fun slate ahead here. Yeah, never heard of that. What the fuck you just said? Never heard of them in my life. So that shows you got more gray hair than I got. Michael W here, Stoner, Ricky Rose, Lone Wolf, wins a lot. Big Ed, Philly Phantom. Congrats to Philly Phantom yesterday. Had a hell of a fucking slate yesterday. Shipped a $1,500 ticket for the Tuesday contest with $250K up top. So good luck in that. And took home a bunch of other cheddar cheese with that baseball slate we had yesterday afternoon, or yesterday morning, I should say there. Gang Green, Lone Wolf, Paraby, Jake Swales. What up, Jake? Taco Totter, got Hebrew, Cheetah, Rio in here, Gregory, William, Avery. Everybody hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. It helps us out a ton. We're going to jump right in. We don't like to waste a bunch of time on this show over here at The Nation. We like talking winners right away. So we're going to jump right in. We got a loaded slate. Like I said, pitching slates. I ran the dry run with the average of projections kind of across the industry, ours, SaberSim, and some other places, just kind of get an idea of what the field's going to do here. Pitching, Joe Ryan, Gilbert, Glasnow, DeGrom. Those 4. You click over to Team Stacks, Dodgers, White Sox. So that's the landscape at hand. We got 4 arms and 2 teams. Reason being is White Sox 5-man in that Sacramento A's ballpark out there, that Cracker Jack Park. Fairly solid hitting weather as well. It allows you to double spend at pitcher, as you see here, play 5 White Sox, and then play Dodgers mini stacks, 3-man, 2-man stacks with the Otanis of the world. In terms of pitching, though, we have a lot of other really good arms on this slate. We'll start 8K and above. We got Casey Mize, who I think is pretty interesting down there at 8K. I think he's a solid arm. Ranger Suarez, if you wanted to play him against a scuffling Detroit team, I don't think it's the worst play. Jose Soriano, who's been an absolute ace this season, does get a pretty tough matchup there in Anaheim against the Padres, who don't strike out a ton, but Soriano has like a 32% K rate on the season. We know he's a turbo ground baller, so it's just really hard to kind of blow him up, at least the way it looks. So I like him quite a bit at 8,200. Cam Schlittler at 8,500 gets the Royals. Should have some run support behind him. He's not really going to get played much. And then you got 4 guys up at the top: Gilbert, DeGrom, Glasnow, Joe Ryan. Not much separation in terms of salary, not much separation in terms of ownership. They're all going to be pretty similar, 30 to 40% owned between the 4 of them, kind of give or take here and there, depending on what contest you're in, but all should be relatively similar in terms of ownership. What do you see here in terms of pitching? Where are you going, Ham? What's up?
Yeah, you said it. There's a ton of Ton of pitching that we love on the slate. And if you're going to play those Dodgers, you're going to need to get a little bit different. Let's start at the top, I guess, with Logan Gilbert, Jacob deGrom facing each other in that ballpark that we know and love so much. Logan Gilbert, he's not going to get above 95, somewhere in that 85 to 95 pitch range. So at 9,500, I think him and deGrom at 9,200 are great plays. We saw 90-plus pitches out of deGrom the last time out. Did Jacob deGrom striking 9 folks out? So I love both of those pitchers. I don't even mind pairing them together. Now, you can't pair them together and play the Dodgers, which if you want to pivot off the Dodgers, I think that's a great play. Tyler Glasnow, I like him as well at $8,900. That's a pretty big discount from where you've seen Tyler Glasnow in the past. I know he's in Denver, but he had 7 strikeouts his last game, 9 before that. We know the Rockies have struck out a ton. So I'm all over Glasnow as well. Joe Ryan, get the Reds out of the Great American Small Park. All he's done is gone back-to-back 20 pieces. I don't know if 20 is going to get you enough to win. Interested to hear your take on that. But I like Joe Ryan. He's going to be popular, as you alluded to. And then probably my favorite Nades is going to, of this bunch, is going to be Cam Schlittler, I'll call him. 7+ strikeouts in all 4 starts of his, right around 80 pitches, 230 pieces on the season. Now he gets this Kansas City team at home who's been abysmal all season long at $8,500. Cam Schlittler is one of my favorite pieces on the board tonight. Then I'll round it out with Ranger Suarez. We know who Ranger Suarez is. He was dynamite last year. Red Sox went out and got him. Threw a masterpiece against the Cardinals last week or last time out. He's only $8,100. You said it, this Tigers team scuffling a little bit. We got that monster out there in left field. But give me some Ranger Suarez, and then you said it a minute ago. Give me that guy right below him at 8K, Casey Mize, same game, 2 20+ point performances on the young season. This Red Sox team, on paper, they look good, but they struggled out the gate. So, man, 8K and above, it's loaded. Someone said Waka in the chat. I'm not going Waka. I'm not going Jose Soriano either, although that may come back to haunt me because he's been balling this season. But you said it, Padres just don't strike out enough, and I don't think Soriano is going to be able to get it done tonight with who we have pitching and who we have hitting as well. So I would say, how many pitchers is that? 7 of the 9 Nades. I think 8K and above I'm in on.
Yeah, I really don't think you can go very wrong up here at all. I'll start with Gilbert, deGrom. I love those two, both 7.5K props. deGrom, I believe, slight juice to, or Gilbert, slight juice to the over. deGrom, slight juice to the under there. Not really worried. One of the best pitching ballparks in all of baseball. I like picking on these teams, so I'm in on Gilbert and deGrom. I like both of them a ton. I think pairing them together is very interesting and very nice. You pretty much solidify yourself, especially with these two arms, into at least 4-point win bonus for one of them, which I do like. So I like them. Tyler Glasnow, I think, is fine. He's going to be the highest owned pitcher, and he's pitching in Coors Field, which is by far and away the best hitting environment today. I know it's cold in Coors Field. It's like 40 degrees. But still, that park plays above average regardless of the temperature. It's still going to be boost here. I think he's fine. He could definitely go out there and get you 10 strikeouts. But I just, compared to the other guys, Gilbert, deGrom, and Joe Ryan, who he's sandwiched between, I put those 3 ahead of deGrom, or Glasnow, So I like Joe Ryan is kind of my SP3 there. Love Cam Schlittler. I'm in on him. One of my favorite plays on the entire slate at salary, at ownership. So as a pivot off the top 4, I think Schlittler makes a ton of sense. His K prop is good. He's ran really good to start the year. He should have run support. He's got 6.5 K prop, which is right in line with these guys, and he's $1,000 cheaper. So I do like Schlittler a ton. I'm not playing Waka, not playing Suarez. The other 2 guys I will play is Soriano and Casey Mize, and that's the bulk of my pitching pool is these guys up top. I really don't have much interest, if any, down low outside of one arm, just as a leverage play overall. So for me, it's Gilbert, deGrom, Joe Ryan, Schlittler, Soriano, Casey Mize are the main arms I'm playing up here. You could play Suarez if you wanted to. It's not for me. Glasnow I'm going to be under on as well and just take my chances at these other guys not pitching in Coors Field. I get the matchup against the Rockies in that, but the Rockies do have some bats, right, that can pack a punch in there in general. You look at their numbers on the season, they're sitting around league average in terms of a little above the league average, I should say, against right-handed pitching. So he's fine. He could definitely do it. I just add ownership. I like the other three guys more in better pitching environments, better pitching ballparks in general. I will say Joe Ryan, I like him a lot. There is a lot of strikeouts there. And what does help him too is the Reds projected to only have 3 lefties. There is pretty heavy wind blowing out to right field, which does help that lefty power against Joe Ryan. And Joe Ryan, we know what he is. He's going to give up a home run probably, or maybe 2 to those lefties, but he could easily strike out 8 to 10 of these Reds and have himself a ceiling performance. So at 8,700, I'm in on him. Let's go down below 8K here. We got Soroka, who's been pitching out of his mind this year. Eric Lauer, who's had some peak starts. Davis Martin. The one guy down here that I have some interest in is Aaron Savali. The reason being is not that Aaron Savali is a great pitcher by any means, but number one, White Sox are chalk just due to the nature of the slate because people want to spend up for the Dodgers. They want to spend up for those pitchers. How do you do that? Well, you play a team where the average salary is like $0 to stack up in the White Sox. But you look at this team, I mean, a 26% K rate on the season against right-handed pitching. You look at Savali to start the year, 28% K rate, and it's going to leverage one of the more chalkier stacks of the slate. Like I said, dry runs, 80% right here, 80% White Sox stacks. So Savali would be the guy if I am looking for salary down here. Outside of that, I don't have much interest. What do you see down here below 8K?
Yeah, there's not a whole ton to love. You said it, Soroka, however you want to say it. He's had 2, I'll say it this way. He's had 2 games with 10 plus Ks in it. So if you were going to go down there, I mean, 7,900, he's right around the same guys. But I mean, who are you going to play down here, Nades? It doesn't look like much. Waldron making what I believe is his first start going up against this team that has hit 17 home runs in the last 2 games, it feels like. So not much to love down here. And you said it earlier, it's pitching tonight. So I'm going to pitch the big boys and not really getting down here. I don't see how you make a case for anybody outside of Soroka sub 8K.
Yeah, I do have more interest in Savali. I put Savali ahead of Soroka. I get it. The Blue Jays been scuffling there, but the roof's going to be open in Arizona. It should play hitter friendly there. Lefties kind of tag up Soroka anyways. So guys like Jesus Sanchez, Dalton Varsho, some of them, and then obviously you got just the contact heavy Blue Jays team in general. So for me, if I'm going down there, I just think Soroka at 7,900. I'd rather play Casey Mize for $100 more or $200 more, get up to a guy like $300 more. Get up to a guy like Soriano, or 600 more. Play Schlittler, right? That's ownership where it doesn't really matter on those guys because the top 4 are soaking up. So my pitcher pool would look something like this: Gilbert, DeGrom, Glasnow, Ryan, Schlittler, Soriano, Suarez. Or actually, I don't even really like Suarez much. So really, I'd probably limit it down to these 9 guys or 8 guys. Excuse me, I can't count here on the screen. So this is something like I'm looking at here tonight: Gilbert, DeGrom, Glasnow, Ryan, Schlittler, Soriano, Mize, and Savali. And I know I slid Schlittler's name 16 different times in the last four minutes. So however you pronounce his name, I just like him a lot. Go ahead and rank your top 5 here, Ham, on the slate in general before we talk hitting.
Yeah, so 1 would be Gilbert, DeGrom, Schlittler for me, Glasnow 4, and I'm going to say Suarez 5 for me. I like him at 8,100.
Awesome. I'll go Gilbert number 1 for me. I'll go Joe Ryan 2, DeGrom 3, Schlittler 4, and then I'll go Casey Mize 5. The other guys are obviously good. I'm going to have exposure to all of these 8 guys, but that's kind of my rankings in general. Let's jump over here. Let me refresh the stone and get our updated lineups that we have in here. Again, if you guys want access to this real quick, I'll just show you for everyone tuning in here. We do still have the Master Special going on up at the top. $349 gets you access to all of our PGA content for the entire PGA season. But really, if you're here in an MLB show, you're interested in MLB, if you've never signed up at ShipItNation.com, check us out. The best rate, 5 days for $19. You get everything you see here up on the screen, all sports, all of our content, including an optimizer. So that would take you through MLB Tonight. It would take you through the Showdown Golf content and it would take you into the golf tournament next week and all of the MLB content for next week as well, including the big Tuesday $1,500 mega tournament with $250K up top, or single sport MLB, $49 a month with an optimizer. You can't even go to sabershim.com and get that price. So let's go back to the Stone here. First game on the slate after we scroll past these early games here. Royals, Yankees. Yankees were disappointing. I was on the right side of that. It's pretty much the whole series against the Angels. I was overweight on the Angels. They came through for me here. Royals, Yankees. Yankees, I think, are interesting here. Waka somehow just continues to skate through games and just, even though it doesn't look like he should be a serviceable pitcher, just somehow continues to just make his way through. So Yankees are fine. I don't love them here, but this would be the spots where everyone was on them all weekend against the Angels. They didn't do their thing. Tonight would be a perfect spot to kind of go back to them. Grisham, Bellinger, Rice, Judge, all of these guys are fine, but their salaries make it pretty tough for me outside of the cheap guys that you really don't want at the bottom too much anyways. What do you see here, Yankees and Royals, to start us off?
Yeah, no Royals for me. I think they're easy to mark off. I mean, if you wanted a one-off on but don't love the stack, on the Yankees, sounds like I like them a little bit more. I actually like the righties some too. Walk a little reverse splitsies when it comes to power. Obviously, you got Judge. Don't need me to tell you to play him, but Stanton, who hit a bomb yesterday, Rosario batting 6. Not really a power guy per se, but Jose Caballero, obviously get him on the base pass and he's trouble. So yeah, I like the 5-mans, 4-mans, however you want to slice it. I'm in on these Yankees. Sounds like a little bit higher than you, and then I wouldn't play these Royals. Not against Schlittler. He's one of my favorite pitchers on the board.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Yankees are fine. I like cheaper offenses more, and I'm prioritizing pitching overall. So the guys that I want to play, Judge, Bellinger, Stanton, Rice, those, I mean, 5,600, 6,600, 46, 42, right? It gets pretty expensive pretty quickly. So I will say they're going to be lower owned than they have been all week, potentially all season. At these ownerships, nobody's going to really play the Yankees. So I will definitely be overweight on Yankees and MME, but main team-wise, single entry, 3-max stuff, not sure if I get there just yet. I do like these other cheaper teams better, but good place to hit. Waka, not fine. It's just I'd rather power hunt against Waka than full stack personally myself. So guys like Rice, Judge, Grisham, 2-man, one-offs, things like that is more my way to attack that game. Next game, heading out to Miami, Jansen Junk on the mound. Coleman Craw going to make the debut here for the Brewers. This is a game I don't really like much from offense. This ballpark sucks. I know the Marlins bullpen is not great. Brewers bullpen kind of middle of the road as well. Not much interest offensively here for me. Bryce Terang, I think, is an elite spend up always at second base at 5,500 as a pivot off of some of those Dodger guys at similar price points. Jake Bowers, I think at 4K flat is a really good play hitting fifth. He's been mashing. And then Garrett Mitchell. Those three I mention every time the Brewers are on the slate. They're always in play. Stolen base upside, always Jansen Junk can always be wild and walk. So won't fault anyone for the Brewers here. I just don't like the ballpark much. Bullpens are kind of middle of the road. Brewers have been fairly cold as well. What do you see here?
Yeah, you said it. Not much to love in this game. We don't like this. We don't like this park. No Christian Yelich and Nades. I can't help it, but I saw it the other day, maybe twice this season, but your boy Gary the Goat going yard twice this season. He's coming back to haunt me. It's Gary season, baby. Gary the Goat. Gary Sanchez going bombs over Baghdad. So I don't like the offenses in this game.
Yeah, Gary Sanchez, hell of a hitter so far this year. Coming back, was it with the crew in 2024? Sat out 2025, went to a different squad, and now he's back. And it does help, especially when we're facing left-handed pitchers, which obviously majority of our lineup are better hitters do hit from the left side. So that does help there. But yeah, I'm with you there. Not much interest from an offensive perspective. Takes us to Red Sox, Tigers, Casey Mize, Ranger Suarez, two of the better arms on the slate. Both rank well in our pitcher rankings. Don't love this game from a DFS perspective on either side here. Red Sox been really disappointing to start the year. Tigers, not great either. If you wanted to get to some one-offs, guys like Kevin McGonigal, Roman Anthony, Willie Abreu, who's been one of the better hitters in baseball. I won't fault anyone, but I'm not really getting to stacks in this game. What do you see here?
Yeah, full stacks I'm out on in this game. It would be more home run hunting on this one. And I don't mind, like you said, Willie Abreu's fine. I don't mind some of the righties either. If you wanted to stack some of those, or not stack, but home run hunt with Trevor Story, somebody like that. But yeah, not full stack in this one. And I have tons of interest in Ranger Suarez, so I'm not playing any of these sticks on the Tigers.
All righty. Yeah, we're in lockstep there. It takes us to the next game, which I do have a lot of interest here. Twins, probably one of my favorite stacks, if not my favorite stack of the board here. Brandon Williamson is just not good. The Reds bullpen is ass. Wind blown out to right field, which helps these lefties for sure. But the Twins have been mashing baseballs. They've lit up guys like Garrett Crochet. The list goes on and on so far to start the year here. They've been hitting well. This park's been yielding runs. Buxton, Martin, Keyshaw, Jeffers, Ryan Creedler down there. I really like the wraparound here for the Twins. The 9-1-2-3-4 stack looks fantastic from Minnesota. The red side, you want lefty power against Joe Ryan. So Friedel, if you wanted to get there as a one-off, fine. Sale Stewart continues to mash home runs every single time he's there. Ellie De La Cruz as a spend up to be contrarian at shortstop with, again, that lefty power that you want. But I'm much more on the side of Joe Ryan, especially with only 2 lefties projected in the starting lineup here for the Reds, where obviously that's where Joe Ryan struggles. 30% higher strikeout rate against right-handed hitters. What do you see here?
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Like these Twins, why you like them the best on the board, it sounds like. So I would have them a little bit further down, but they're squarely in play. They've been mashing baseballs. I did have the luxury of playing Garrett Crochet the other night. When I looked back, he was 14 runs later. He was no longer in the contest. So, yeah, Twins been red hot. Get Williamson, which you love that. And then, yeah, Reds out of the small park. Don't love them, but, if you wanted to play them, fine, but they're not for me tonight.
Yeah, Avery says, who's the bigger surprise, Pirates or the Twins? Probably the Twins. Pirates have a lot of young talent there, and but again, it's too early really to tell on any of these teams. I mean, we saw all season last year the Mets looked like World Series champions, and then got halfway through the season, they fell off a cliff, just straight free falling down. So it's really tough to say. But yeah, I'd probably say that the Twins more interesting than the Pirates so far, but both of those squads have been pretty solid and definitely DFS friendly. Takes us to the next game here. Roof's probably going to be open here in Houston, at least likely. This is one of the better game environments, if not the best game environment on the slate. I really like this game, and I like the Cardinals quite a bit here. This offense is not good. I get it, but the Astros bullpen, league worst to start the year. xFIP of 4.93, tied with the Tampa Bay Rays, and even worse than the Nationals. And they're pretty taxed as well, which I do like. Cardinals, I mean, two of the better arms in the Astros bullpen have probably going to be unavailable. 51 and 66 pitches the last 3 days. So guys like JJ Weatherholt, Burleson, Walker, Gorman, Herrera, even some of those lefties down at the bottom, Nathan Church, Victor Scott. I like the Cardinals a lot here. So I'm in on St. Louis here. And then the Astros, I won't fault anyone for either. I don't think the Cardinals bullpen is good. The Astros have been hitting well. Jordan, really good spend up on this slate. He's going to be unowned compared to guys like Kyle Tucker, Shohei Ohtani, Freddie Freeman, Christian Walker, same thing. First base, 4,800. All those Dodgers guys are going to be significantly triple, quadruple, 5 times even the ownership of what a guy like Christian Walker and Jordan are going to be. So I think the Astros are good. I like both sides here. I'm in on both these stacks. What do you see here?
Who is Peter Lambert? I feel like he played like with the Rockies or somebody back in the day.
Yeah, he did, and I forgot to mention that. But yeah, he couldn't even make his way out there in that Rockies pitching staff. And last year in AAA, I think he had or in Japan, excuse me, he went over to Japan. Couldn't even make it over there. He had like a 20% K rate and like a 12% walk rate or 10% walk rate. If you can't make it on the Rockies pitching staff, and now you're starting for the Astros with all the injuries that they've had, that just shows you, I mean, I love the Cardinals here. If the Cardinals burn me, they burn me. But the nice thing is Dodgers are in Coors Field. Cardinals are going to be unowned, and they get a bad bullpen, full 9 at bats, with hopefully the roof open there. Either way, so yeah, Peter Lambert come make it on the Rockies, and now the Rockies are starting Sugano instead of him. So that just tells you how shitty he is. But natural, he'll probably come out, throw a complete game shutout with like 6 strikeouts because I'm going in on the Cardinals here. But what do you see offense-wise, Houston and St. Louis?
RIP to our KBO days, Nades. Those were the good old days. Wake up at 3 a.m. It's a lot. But yeah, this game is tough. Once again, like it's home run hunting for me. Obviously, Yordong been pretty hot. Jordan Walker, goodness gracious, what is that guy doing? Just absolutely scolding baseball. So for me, I'm not going to stack either one of these teams, even with the crummy pitchers that you got. It's going to be more home run hunting, and there's just no 4 or 5 guys on either one of these teams that I'm going to play. So I'm out on the full stacks.
Yeah, the issue is on the slate is like stacking looks pretty gross in general, but that's the time that I like stacking, when people are looking at not stacking and getting 3 from here and 2 from here and a 1 off there and a 1 off there. Not to say that's going to happen tonight, but from an offensive perspective, right, it's kind of the theme. So that's where I take bullpens into account more often. And when I see the Houston bullpen's been absolutely atrocious, worst in baseball to start the year, and St. Louis is 6th. So if that's the case, and I don't like either of these starting pitchers, I'm going to have these 2 high up my board in terms of full stacks, and that's just the nature of the slate, because when we get to the next game here, Dodgers, and obviously when we talk about that game out in Sacramento there, that's where the ownership's going. So it's pretty clear to say where everyone's going on the slate. And that takes us into Coors Field. Temperatures-wise, it's abysmal here. I can't say the Dodgers are going to show up here and say, yeah, let's tighten up our cleats here and get ready to play in 35-degree weather with 15-mile-an-hour winds blowing in as well in Coors Field here. And guess what? The average salary of our roster to stack up is $5,200 with a 5-man stack averaging $25.8K, which is over 50% of your roster. And we want to spend up at pitching on the slate. Get it. I get it. The Dodgers in Coors Field against probably the worst pitcher, if not one of them, in the major leagues. Nobody else cares about the ownership or the weather, clearly, with the ownership here. I mean, Shohei Ohtani, 7K. Kyle Tucker, 6,400. I get it. It's the Dodgers. They're really good. They can probably mash anyone, but that Dodgers could score 10 runs here tonight and not be optimal with these salaries because of that, because of the way pitching sets up and the way the salary is for the spend up arms on the slate and not having great cheap pitching options. That's why I'm going to be under on the Dodgers. I'm just going to it's not because I don't think they're going to score runs. I do think they're going to score runs. They probably have a home run or 2, but they're going to need a lot on this slate, and they're going to need every other team to not do anything and to spend up pitching arms to kind of just be middling. So you have a lot of things that need to go your way with the Dodgers, plus everybody else pushing the chips in them. So from a game theory perspective, roster construction perspective, yes, Dodgers on paper, best stack on the board. I just it's tough for me when you take into account their salaries. DraftKings finally did the right thing and priced all these donkeys up going into Coors Field outside of the Freeland and Kim, who are probably 2 of the higher owned bats on the entire slate at 3,600, 3,300 at the back half if they make it there. But what do you see here? Rockies, Dodgers.
Better pack a blanket, Nate. It's going to be cold out there, like you said, 30 some odd degrees. So interesting. So 6 lefties in the Rockies lineup, which I don't love up against Glasnow. I liked what you said, though. Like, man, they're so pricey, so expensive. $7,000. You would think Shohei's getting the ball tonight and going to be pitching, but no, he's not. He's going to be batting at $7K, which is ridiculous. So I liked what you also said about even if they score 10, they may not be optimal, because if you stack the top 3, you're already at $18K. It's going to be tough to get some good pitching in there. So to me, my personal, if you're going to do the Dodgers, you better get some Hye-Dong Kim, some Alex Freeland in there, some guys in the lower half to go with those big boys, and you better hope they hit. But, man, even against your boy Tomo Seguno, it's going to be tough sledding out there in 35-degree weather. The ball's just going to die. It's like you're playing in freaking Wrigley with the wind blowing in at that weather. But I liked what you said, a lot of what you said, and it's easy to fade the Dodgers at this ownership and with this weather.
Yeah, it's just a salary thing, right? We play a salary-based game. We got $50K to build lineups on DraftKings. We already know we want 2 pitchers really over 8,500. So now you're talking between 16 and 18K, right? At least for your 2 pitching arms. And now you add in 5 Dodgers. Now you're looking at over 40-some thousand. Now you got $8,000-$9,000 left in salary to fill out 3 spots, or you know what I mean? That's why everyone's running to the White Sox, right? So I think if you're playing the Dodgers, mini stacks are the way, or find a way to avoid the cheap guys in your stacks and somehow get away with maybe doing like a 4-3-1 or something like that. If you want to play the Dodgers, I just rather bet on one of these other 19 teams to be more optimal in terms of points per dollar, in terms of the upside and that. So that's the way I'm approaching it. On the Rocky side, Mickey Moniak, I think, is a good pitcher, or a good hitter, 3,800. Leverages glass now. I don't hate that. Some of these lefties up at the top, I think, are fine. Not full stacking because, again, don't like the weather, don't like the temperatures here in Coors Field. It's just Coors Field, so it plays above average. But some of those lefties, I think, to get into some of that Glasnow ownership, but definitely side on the side of Tyler Glasnow over anyone else really in that game in general. Next game on the slate, Padres Angels out in Anaheim. Jose Soriano, who's been ace so far to start the year, 38.5% K rate at home, like a 33% in general to both sides of the plate. When you look at the last 30 days, which is obviously the last month, which takes us to the start of the season. We know he's a ground ball guy in general, 60-some% ground ball rate. Padres, contact-heavy team, but they have more strikeouts in this lineup than years past. Machado striking out a lot. Laureano, Tatis have struck out quite a bit on the road. Furman, if he's in there over Campusano, he strikes out a lot. So there is strikeouts to be had here. I do think Soriano is pretty interesting. Ranks really good in our pitcher ranking. So that takes me off of the Padres, but I'm in on the Angels here. I'm riding the hot wave. I think they're second behind the Dodgers in terms of home runs. They just have been mashing baseballs. Matt Waldron hasn't pitched in quite some time, but even when he did pitch, he was absolutely atrocious. The only issue I do have with stacking the Angels here is how good that Padres bullpen is. And if Waldron struggles early, they're more than happy to just rely on that bullpen, which is basically stone nails, sitting at a 3.24 xFIP on the slate. They're really good, right? The bullpen is really good. Mason Miller, obviously a freak. But again, I think guys like Neto, Trout, Joe Adell, Peraza, all these guys are interesting for power hunting against the Padres. Probably don't full stack the Angels just with that bullpen added in, but I do like the Angels' power here as mini stacks, 2-3-man stacks here, even against the Padres and their bullpen.
Yeah, man. Jose Soriano, if they gave the Cy Young after 1 month, it would be him for sure. I'm not a believer, Nades. I think we've stacked against this guy for years, or maybe he changed something. I don't know, but I can't do it, not in this park. But I could certainly, that could certainly come back to haunt me. But I'm out on Soriano. I don't love these Padres either. They're tough to stack. And then the Angels, like you said, man, they've been smacking the ball around really good. Mike Trout, bunch of homers. He's expensive though. Neto at the top, he's fine. Joe Adell, I think, is a good price. He's a really good price on FanDuel. Joe Adell is, and I believe, Nate, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe that Soler is out tonight due to the suspension.
Yeah. He thought he was playing UFC instead of MLB baseball, so he was throwing haymakers. I think he threw like 3 overhand haymakers. Shocked that he only got like a 4-game suspension or whatever it is, but yeah, so he will be out. But you still got guys like Mike Trout, who hits a home run every night, it seems. Zach Neto, whenever I play him, he gets 0 when I fade him. He steals 3 bases and hits 4 home runs. So, but yeah, there's still guys that can be played here. And I don't really want the full stack anyways, but my guy, Oswald Peraza, that dude will swipe. He'll hit home runs. Was a hero for us yesterday. So I don't mind going back to some of these Angels for sure. I mean, Matt Waldron, obviously we don't have much of a sample size. We have 25 plate appearances because he hasn't pitched in quite some time. Obviously didn't pitch last year. the dude has a 24% walk rate. So when you start walking guys, now you have to come back over the heart of the plate. And you could see the Padres potentially just leave him out there to dry, right, as well, which does help the case because you look at the Padres bullpen. They threw 4 bullpen arms yesterday, 2 the day before that, one of them throwing 42 pitches. So they could, first game of the series here, give their guys some rest and just let Waldron go out there and hang him out to dry. He did throw 104 pitches in that first game that we saw. So, yeah. Angels fairly interesting, but sounds like you're pretty under on this game in terms of hitting. And I would say it is one of the better hitting environments on the slate in Anaheim compared to some of these other places. But what's your final take here? Angels, Padres?
Yeah, more not don't love the full stacks. I'm going to save that for the next game, but I mean they're fine, but don't love them.
Yeah, absolutely. It takes us to the next game here. I know I talked about I like the Cardinals a lot. I like the Twins a lot. Takes me to this next game. I like this game a lot. And yeah, the White Sox are going to get ownership, at least optimizers wise. The projected ownership we have here seems pretty light, but I will say all of this ownership is tied to Dodger stacks. So if you play the White Sox, don't play the Dodgers, and you're instantly different there. I lean more on the side of Aaron Savali personally than the White Sox, but guys like Murakami, Colson Montgomery, I think are elite options. That lefty power. Andrew Benintendi, for all you BVP truthers out there, he's hit Savali for I think 2 or 3 home runs if you want to hit your wagon on him. But I really like the A's side of this game a lot. White Sox bullpen not good by any means. The A's bullpen's not great either, but it's been better than the White Sox bullpen to start the year here. White Sox 4.49 xFIP, which is like 10th worst in baseball. A's lefty power you want: Kurtz, Soderstrom, Carlos Cortez, Butler. I like all those guys, and then you got Bangliers up at the top, 5,800. Jeff McNeil, contact guy, 3,500 at second base, which is a weak position. So I like these A's quite a bit here. What do you see here in this game?
Yeah, the A's in the real course field. Where are the A's coming in, Nades? Because they're my favorite.
They're going to be. I mean, the White Sox are going to be higher owned if that says anything, at least projected wise. Nobody's really getting to. I mean, I don't want to say nobody, but in terms of stacks, the A's are down the list in terms of projected ownership. And yeah, if that's the case, sign me up. I like them a ton.
Yeah, goodness gracious, the Law Dog, Lawrence Butler, Bangliers, Kurtz. I wish my guy Rooker was going to be in there. I know he's out. Yeah, give me these A's. Love the A's tonight. They're in the real course field in that Cracker Jack ballpark. And then on the White Sox side, your boy Colson Montgomery, really like him as a one-off only though at 4,100. Colson Montgomery, if he's batting cleanup or wherever he's batting, I like him as well.
Yeah, you want fly ball guys against Savali. He does keep the ball on the ground in general, at least to the left side, which is where you want to attack him. So guys like Andrew Benintendi again, 36.5% fly ball rate on the season with some power and the BVP if you believe in that. But Murakami would be my favorite bat out of them. Yeah, you're going to get Ks. Montgomery's fine too. So yeah, it would be just more mini stacks for me on the White Sox side. Montgomery, Benintendi, Murakami, I think is a really, really good 3-man mini stack there overall. So that will take us to the Rangers, Mariners here. 2 of our favorite pitchers, one of the worst hitting parks in baseball as well. What do you see here? Any offense for you?
Yeah, not in this park. Looks like the I'm just going to go back to pitching real quick, but if looks like the Mariners have projected 7 lefties in the lineup, and DeGrom pretty good against lefties, over 30% strikeout rate. Man, I love DeGrom if they truly do roll out 7 lefties. On the flip side, Logan Gilbert strikes them out in droves as well. If I'm on DraftKings, I'm stacking both of these pitchers up for sure. Nades, it's going to be a bloodbath when it comes to Case tonight, and whatever it's called now, Safeco Field is what I know it as. Yeah,
no, I'm with you there. Not much hitting for me. Take me a lot of lineups if Maybe I'd have to have 300 plus lineups to probably get to either of these stacks. It's baseball; anything can happen. It's just not something I'm hitching my wagon on. There's enough low-owned teams across the board with the Dodgers being in Coors Field to really not even worry about leveraging either of these starting pitchers. I'd rather leverage Tyler Glasnow, if anyone, compared, or even Joe Ryan compared to these two guys personally. Last game of the slate, D-backs and the Blue Jays. This game I do have a lot of interest in from offense on both sides of it. I'll start with the Blue Jay side. Soroka's been really good. I'm not buying it. I think it's kind of smoke and mirrors here. Lefty power, I think, is interesting. And the nice thing, too, is there's 0 left-handed relievers in that Arizona bullpen. So that helps guys like Nathan Lukes not get pinch hit for, Dalton Varsho, Jesus Sanchez. Those would be the 3 starting points I'd make for my lineup. But guys like Andres Jimenez, 3K, shortstop. Nobody's going to click that name. Blue Jays are going to get ownership. They destroyed me yesterday. I'm fine going back to the well. And then don't sleep on these D-backs. Eric Lauer is going to come in long relief after the opener there, so don't get thrown off. Lauer is not going to start. Probably they're going to go with an opener, obviously, to get past the top half of this top portion of this lineup, Marte, Carol Perdomo. But Nolan Arenado, the corpse of him, 3,200, dirt cheap at a weak third base. Weak third base position. The dude hit 2 home runs the last time he faced a lefty. Vargas, I think, is really interesting too. I definitely like the D-backs here. I think they're pretty sneaky. I like both sides of this game. Lean Blue Jays side, but don't hate the D-backs either. Marte, Carol Perdomo, Arenado, Vargas. Those 5 really like. Jose Fernandez, really nice guy at 3,400 too. So, this is one of the games I'm in on offense. There was a lot of spots we weren't on. This is one that I am in on. What do you see here?
Can Nolan Arenado hit the ball out of the infield anymore?
He hit 2 home runs. Last week or a couple games ago? He hit 2 home runs, scored like 38 DraftKings points, and then couldn't hit his way out of a wet paper bag after that. But hey, all the BVP guys, right? Because BVP's real. Whatever happened last time has to happen this time. He's got 3 home runs off our guy Eric Lauer. So if you want to hitch your wagon on that, go ahead and do it. But 3,200 at third base when Max Muncy's going to soak up all the ownership at that position. It's not the worst play in the world, and it's not breaking the bank when we want to spend up at pitching. So from that perspective, I don't hate it. But what do you see here?
Speaking of Nolan Arenado, I failed to mention my boy from the last game, Nades, and do you know who that is?
Yeah, Jock Jams.
Jock Jams, baby. Jock Jams, he's not batting it. I would guarantee he's not batting his weight this year on the season. And, hey, this Friday night and every single Friday night that I'm on a show, if Jock Pederson hits a home run, we're giving away a $121 ticket in the chat. So, hey, if Jock hits a home run on Friday night and you're listening to the show the next week, you're going to get paid because Jock Jams is horrendous. Hey, Nolan Arenado is close to getting there, Nades. He's terrible, too, even though he hit 2 bombs. But Jock Jams for sure is trash. Yeah, I don't like either one of these offenses. I think you said you did. I'm out on both of these offenses. So, yeah, I don't like either one of them.
So you like one offense on the whole slate. All right, perfect. Ham's running 100% athletic stacks. Nobody else in his player pool, and he's playing
Call
DeGrom.
Call your DK rep and get all 8 of them in there.
Yeah, he's playing DeGrom and Gilbert in 9 athletics. So, all right, we know where Ham's going on the slate, but our guy Travis here in the chat says the roof is always shut in Houston. I figured that was the case, but I didn't know. So I appreciate you calling that out. Either way, roof closed, roof shut, doesn't matter. Bullpen's ass. Cardinals bullpen's ass. Both the starting pitchers are ass. Sign me up. I love that game. So, Ham, end of the show here. Your favorite pitching combination. I know you're going to go DeGrom and Gilbert, but if you didn't go those 2, throw a lower owned guy in there. Your favorite overall offense, a sneaky stack, and then a home run call for the people.
All right, I'm going to give you the 2 offenses that are going to win on this slate, so y'all can thank me later. It's the Athletics and it's the New York Yankees. So those are going to win the slate. Then you pair up Gilbert and DeGrom. You said give me somebody else. If you want to go Cam Schlittler or whatever his name is, you play him, Ranger Suarez. And if I had to go sneaky stack, Nades, sneaky stack is tough. I'm going to go – well, you said the sneaky.
I mean, pretty much everyone's sneaky on this slate outside of maybe the Blue Jays and the Dodgers, obviously. and potentially the White Sox just because of their salary relief in that ballpark, and maybe the A's. So really outside of those kind of couple teams, nobody's really going to get ownership to worry about on the slate because pitching is so condensed.
Yeah, I have no basis for this, but it would be the Miami Marlins because some guy named Cameron Crowe is pitching for the Brewers. He may be the number one prospect in all of the world. I've never heard of him, so give me the Marlins as a sneaky stack.
The Marlins, didn't see that coming out of fucking left field. But
I would play the Marlins, but I was forced based on this show to give you a
There's
sneaky
20 teams on the slate, and this guy says Miami Marlins in one of the worst parks in baseball.
No, play the Athletics, play the Yankees, and then print money. Go to sleep and print money. I got some home run calls. When we give yours, and let's give the people some home run calls. We got to make some money tonight.
All right, yeah. My favorite pitcher on the slate is going to be Logan Gilbert. I like him a ton. Also with you on DeGrom. My kind of sleeper or sneakier one is number one, Aaron Savali. I don't mind him, but I really like Cam Schlittler a ton too. In that mid-tier, that mid 8K range. So I'm with you there. In terms of offenses, I already said it. I love the Twins tonight. I'm riding the wagon, and then Cardinals. Twins, Cardinals, those are two of my favorite stacks on the board. Overall, I'm with you there on the A's too. I don't mind the A's as well. They'd probably be 3. My home run calls, I'm going to the Cardinals. I'm going to my guy Alec Burleson, 4,500 hitting third. And then I'll go to my favorite stack on the board. I'll go down the salary range a little bit. Guy in the 2-hole. Shout out to our guy G. Rosen. Loves himself the 2-hole. You can take that, take your mind wherever you want with that. But I'm going to Austin Martin. I love Austin Martin a ton. 3,400, hitting second. Probably got pretty good home run odds in general. But I like Austin Martin a ton. Ready power, masher against Brandon Williamson, who couldn't strike out Ham, which I don't think if Ham was up there to bat with his dentures, his little slippers. Yeah, I don't think he's striking out Ham. But Ham, go ahead and give your home run calls, and we'll get out of here.
Nobody put a Cowboy Mouth song in the chat. I was kind of disappointed. They had 45 minutes to do so, and not a single Cowboy Mouth. I'm going to give you – so the these home run calls seem pretty straight up to me. Go ahead and write this down. Take a picture of it. Cash in your chips once he hits a bomb. Nick Kurtz is going yard. That's for certain. I'm going to stay in that same game. I'm going to go Bangliers, as you like to call him. Shea Langeliers is going yard as well. Man, I'll just stop at those two, Langeliers and Kurtz, but Kurtz for sure. And I'll leave it at that. So we got to do a four-gamer Nades parlay and see if we can make any money.
So Austin Martin, Nick Kurtz, Alec Burleson, Shea Langeliers are the 4 home run calls. We're going to get out of here. Appreciate everyone tuning in. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Helps us out a ton. We did all 10 games. We did pitching. We did stacks. Rewind. We got out of here nice and early for you guys. About 50 minutes talking baseball here. We don't like the bullshit. We don't like to dick around. We like to get straight to the winners here. If you're not a member yet, head over to shipitnation.com. Click Join the Nation right here. You get all the tools we walk through this stone on the show. We walk through StableSim as well. Our partner trial, $19, 5 days. If you already use that, go to Single Sport, go to MLB, plus an optimizer, 150 lineups, late swap, $49 a month. Can't beat it. You can't even take your family out to McDonald's for less than $50. So go ahead and invest in yourself, invest in our content, invest in our tools. Winners across the across all sports, but really baseball, PGA, we've been absolutely smashing to start the year of all buy-in levels too, not just 150 maxers, not high stakes guys, all different sites are all different buy-ins, all different sizes. So would love to have you join the nation here. We got a lot of things coming around the corner as well. Stone 2.0 debuted in PGA. We're potentially bringing that across to all of our stones. So more upgrades coming. Again, for Ham, I'm Nades. Good luck tonight in those contests. Hope to see all your Ship It Nation logos at the top. We're out of here. Peace.